Considered by many to be one of the most haunted places in Ireland, Glep Castle's dark history has made it a heavily analyzed subject that has caught the attention of believers and skeptics alike. The castle was built in County Offaly and owned by the O'Carroll clan. However, it is unsure when it was actually built, due to various accounts telling different stories. It could be anywhere between the 13th and 15th century, but experts say it was most likely built in year 1250. Because of this, the castle has had many different owners throughout the years, and some of them have left behind a dark story. In 1991, the castle was bought by musician Sean Ryan, who is still the current owner to this day.
It's documented that in 1150 there was a wooden tower here, but that's all they tell us. It's in the annals of the Four Mats, as it's mentioned, but they say it was here then. Now they don't say whether it was a lookout tower or proper wooden castle. Neither do they say if it dated beyond that. I think the O'Carrolls arrived here a good bit earlier. Seemingly they may have emerged as a clan up where the border is with the north of Ireland, but say Cooley across to Armagh. But were driven out sometime in the 900s and moved down to Ireland and settled on this country. This was O'Bannon country, but they very quickly took over here, and the O'Bannons became like a sub-tribe of theirs. But in Irish, in Gaelic, it's still called Lenny Bannon, O'Bannon's Lep, you know. But I suppose the O'Carrolls did here what they did up there. They fought with everybody. They fought among themselves as well. But I suppose in particular they fought with the English when the time came. And there would have been one of the last of them, I suppose, to have been dispossessed. And to my knowledge it was 1688 when they lost their lands here.
Throughout the 1500s, the O'Carroll clan went through a series of struggles that converted into a fight for power within the family. This was especially true for two of the O'Carroll brothers who fought relentlessly for leadership of the clan. One of these brothers was a priest who was murdered by the other whilst holding a mass for his family. Because of this, that area became known as the Bloody Chapel and would go on to host countless disturbing events.
See, the O'Carrolls at the time were often at war with the Butlers of Ormond. Now the Butlers they'd be kind of principally Kilkenny, we'll say, and they were of Norman extraction. I suppose they were better at the art of battle, and also would have had better arms than the Irish. But they were beginning to take a lot of land in the south here from the O'Carrolls. But the O'Carrolls invited down mercenaries from north of Sligo. There were a subtype of the O'Neills. They were known as the Northern MacMahons. And they came down, actually 29 of them, not to fight, but to train them, and to, I suppose, teach them how to make better arms. But anyway, after a lengthy enough campaign, it became quite successful, and they were driving the butlers back again out of their country, that southern part of their country. And so the McMahons were invited back here. They were to be given a banquet and paid. But the banquet was held up in the bloody chapel, and when they got them up, I suppose they sat them down and gave them wine, but they had poisoned their wine. So they killed all 29 of them in one foul swoop, and there's actually horrific accounts of the night. Now, maybe they were on something stronger themselves, but they went into this frenzy and they started cutting their heads off, and they kicked them out the windows and around the barn and all that. There's some incredible accounts of that night. So that would have helped give the bloody chapel its name.
With the castle's dark history in mind, it's not surprising that the castle has become a tourist attraction. Many people from different parts of the world come to Leap Castle to explore its mystery. A lot of the castle's visitors have stated that they have experienced strange encounters while visiting the castle. The proprietor, Sean Ryan, has experienced this more than anyone else.
I suppose we tend to hear them at night time a lot. Now, it's not a nighttime thing only, but it's like footsteps. It's like people walking around. We hear doors opening and closing. Another thing we hear, it's like a crowd of people, say, in another room, all talking. Now, you can't actually make out anything that's being said, but the thing about it is, we say you heard it down there someplace, and you were sure it was coming from there. But if you go there, it's not. It's always someplace else. You're never at it. And the footsteps we hear aren't on the floors we have now, or the doors we hear opening and closing aren't our doors. Now, we see a lot of them as well. Sometimes it'd be nearly as clearly as I see you now. Sometimes it's like a cloud, or like an aura around them, or maybe just around parts of them. Another thing we experience, it's like shadows flashing in the corner of your eye. And there's a lady down here that touches off people. And a lot of our visitors now experience that. Even yesterday, now there was a lady here, and it went a little bit further there. She felt her arm was pulled. A huge amount of our guests experienced that. You know. And the thing about it is, okay, we've had a few hasty exits, but generally people amaze themselves because they're so calm about it, you know. They don't feel threatened by it, even though it's possibly a first-time experience for most of them, you know.
The mystery of Leap Castle has been studied and analyzed for years, but no definite answers have been provided. It's unclear why so many people have had such strange experiences within its walls. The dark history that many of its former owners left behind is often attributed to the disturbing events that happened there, but this is merely speculation. The reasoning for the dark tendencies that this castle seems to possess is a question that remains unanswered.
My name's Kyle and I'm from England. Could you please come forward and communicate with me? I've set up a little device on the ground, and if you go close to it, it will trigger. If there's anyone here, would you please come forwards and do that for me? Do not be afraid. I'm not here to harm you in any way. You just have to prove that life exists after death. Give me an indication that you're here, please, and just go near that red light on the ground. I'm not going to lie, guys, it's freaking me out already. I just feel like there's people stood this side of me, like staircases. It's really heavy in here, you know. What I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to put this candle on the floor as well. I'm going to ask them to blow it out. So I'll put it here just so you can see it. So it's directly to my front. If there's any spirits in here with me right now at this moment in time, could you please come forwards and blow out the candle? It's absolutely horrendous. The steps move when you're walking on them. You can see straight through to the floor below. Please come forwards and communicate with me. I'm opening myself up to speak to you. I've come all the way from England just to meet you, just for some proof, some validation. I keep finding it hard to breathe, guys, tonight. That feeling I had upstairs were absolutely horrendous. It felt like I was being hung on the spot where I was stood. What's that? That's coming from upstairs. There's no one upstairs. What the hell? Can I ask who's here with me, please? What's your name? My name's Kyle. Pleased to meet you. Could you tell me what your name is, please, sir? Come with the greatest amount of respect. I'm just here to communicate with yourself. Pleased to meet you, sir. Can you see the candle on the floor? Can you see that light? Could you please blow that light out? Does God exist? What happened to you? How did you die? Did you take a sword or an arrow? What weapon killed you? A sword? I bet that was traumatic. I'm sorry about that. It must have really hurt. Was it scary when you died? What's death like? So you died by a sword, is that correct? I'll just ask you again. Did you die by the sword?